Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We are meal prepping today. I'm going to be doing a lunch, a breakfast, a snack, and then just some dinner prep. So the first thing I am working on is I'm going to cook up some turkey bacon. I like to have some sort of bacon prepped for the week. I use it for wraps, for salads, for breakfast, breakfast for dinner. I switch back and forth between turkey bacon and pork bacon. It's just there's really no preference between the two. I like both of them equally. I put this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 to 17 minutes. Really depends on your oven. Turkey bacon does take a little bit longer to cook than pork bacon, it seems like in my experience. So this is going to go into the oven, and then we will work on our lunch recipe for the week. Next up, I'm going to work on my lunches, which is going to be burger bowls. I am weighing out my beef because I'm being really diligent this year about weighing and measuring, so I weighed out 2 pounds of beef. I'm going to be using these spices I found at Big Lots. One of them is labeled burger and one of them is labeled steak. I also found a chicken one, which I've already used up. They're really good. Have lots of pepper in them, which is always a plus for me. So I went ahead and sprinkled some of these into the ground beef, and that's all I'm going to season them with. And now we are going to weigh out 3-ounce portions, and that's what each of these patties are going to be. I believe the recipe showed putting 3 of these burgers in one burger bowl. We'll see. I'll probably do 2, maybe 3 if I'm really hungry on the day. So I will be using my rock grill that I got at Costco. This is it right here. So it just goes on your stovetop. So I'm going to go ahead and just lay out the patties. This made 10 patties, which 10 or 11. I can't remember how many exactly, but I believe it was 10 patties. So I went ahead and put these on my grill, and I'm just going to cook those. And while those are cooking, I'm going to make the sauce that was in the recipe for this meal prep bowl. They call it a beast sauce. It's really just kind of like Thousand Island dressing. So we're going to go into that next. So for this sauce, you're going to need dill pickle relish, some mayo, some sugar-free ketchup, and some mustard. And of course, like I said, I am really trying to weigh things out, so I'm going to go ahead and measure out the ingredients for these. I will have the recipe linked down below because I cannot remember the exact measurements that I am putting everything in here. So I will have the original recipe down below, and you can check that out to see the exact measurements for this sauce. So after you get all the ingredients in there, you're just going to whisk it up. The recipe did not call for any seasonings in this, and I have to put seasonings in all my stuff, especially sauces. So I put in some sea salt, some onion powder, and some garlic powder to the beast sauce. And here are the patties. They got all done, and I'm just kind of letting them drain here a little bit before I put them in a bowl. And the burger bowl, how it's going to be set up, you're going to put some lettuce, some spinach, however many of these burgers you want, some tomato, avocado, and then also the sauce on top. Stay tuned for my what I eat videos this week because I will be definitely having one or 2 of these, maybe 3 of these for during the week. It just sounds super, super good. Oh, it does call, you can put bacon on there as well. So I can always put a piece of that turkey bacon on there too. This will definitely help me for my first week back to work after being off for winter break. And so it'll be nice to have a nice, healthy lunch prepped for me. Now I'm going to prep some easy egg scrambles. We're going to do the components of this, and literally all we have to do when we want this for breakfast is to just add in 1 or 2 eggs. So it's kind of similar to that crack an egg thing you can find in the stores. The first one I'm going to do is a veggie. So we have a red pepper, green pepper, onion, mushrooms, and some broccoli and cauliflower. Now I'm not a huge mushroom fan, but if I dice this up fine enough, then I definitely can stomach it. Mushrooms are really good for you. I like them raw, just not a huge fan cooked, but when I put them in an egg scramble, they don't get they still have a little bit of crunch to them, which is what I like. So I'm going to cut all this stuff up into nice, finely diced portions, and then I will show you the next one I'm going to make. And then since this is so early in the morning that I'm making this, I'm going to go ahead and have one of these for breakfast. So I will show you how to put these egg scrambles together.
About to leave, already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know.
And the second flavor I guess flavor, second type of egg scramble I'm going to do. This one has some meat in it, so I also have some cheese, some Colby Jack cheese, some diced ham, some onion, red pepper, and green bell pepper. So I'm going to go ahead and dice up all the vegetables. And then again, because I said I'm really being diligent about weighing and measuring, I'm going to go ahead and weigh out the portion of the diced ham and the cheese. So I'm doing, I believe it's 2 ounces of diced ham. That's the serving size. So I went ahead and weighed out 2 ounces of the diced ham, and then I was going to weigh out 28 grams of cheese. And then once I have this weighed out, I'll go ahead and add half of the veggies to each of these. I'm doing 2 of these particular flavors of the egg scramble.
About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions, we'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow, we can.
What I love about these is they are portable, so it's something you can just take to work with you. So you can grab this little baggie out of the refrigerator, grab a couple of eggs, pack them in your lunchbox, grab a mason jar. So as long as you have a microwave at your work, you can make these at work. I'm going to go ahead and show you how we can throw these really easy egg scrambles together. Now you want to make sure your mason jar is nice and coated with cooking spray, and then you want to add in however many eggs you want. So the more eggs you put in, the longer you have to cook it for. So I have 2 eggs here. I'm going to go ahead and whisk those up really well, and then go ahead and add any spices that you want to it. I always like to add salt and pepper, and sometimes I'll add garlic to these. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for. So I'm going to go ahead and whisk that up. And then we are going to, at this point, go ahead and add in any spices. So I'm just adding in some garlic powder and then also some salt. Oh, and I also added in some red pepper flakes because if y'all know me, you know how I feel about red pepper flakes. It goes pretty much in everything I make, especially anything with eggs. That's such a good spice with eggs. So now we're going to go ahead and take one of your baggies. I'm just going to do the veggie one. I'm going to go ahead and add it in with your eggs. And then you can add cheese to this as well. I did actually end up adding a little bit of cheese into this egg scramble. And you want to go and just stir it up with a fork. And then you're going to put this in the microwave for 90 seconds. And then after it comes out after 90 seconds, go ahead and give it a stir and see if you need to put it back in again. I ended up putting mine back in for about 30 seconds. But remember, eggs continue to cook even after you let them, sit for a little bit, but this still needed to go in for another 30 seconds. So there you go, an easy egg scramble. Again, this is highly portable. You can even put the eggs into your mason jar and take them to work that way. And our turkey bacon is all done. So I'm going to go ahead and put it into this glass dish so I can store it in the refrigerator. And again, I like to use these for wraps and for breakfast, crumple it up in a salad, however you want to use your bacon. It's just nice to already have this cooked and ready to go in the refrigerator. I absolutely love green onions, but if I don't chop them up ahead of time, I am super bad about wasting them. I get so lazy when I am making dinner, and honestly, I just don't want to take the time to get the cutting board out and get the green onions chopped up to go into my salad. That's also why I buy so many bagged salads. It's really out of laziness, and I'm trying to stop that. So that's why I'm going to be meal prepping again. So I'm going to go ahead and chop up these green onions. I also have a couple heads of romaine I'm going to chop up so I have my salads for the week. And I am making some mashed cauliflower for dinner tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and get that cauliflower head all chopped up while I'm meal prepping. And also I have a cabbage dinner coming up, so I wanted to go ahead and just chop up this head of cabbage so it is ready to go that night that I have it for dinner. I have some jalapenos I need to use up, so I'm going to go ahead and make some jalapeno poppers. As you guys know, I buy these quite often from Safeway, from their produce section, but they are so easy to make, and I decided I'm just going to start making them myself, and mainly because I am doing this weighing and measuring thing, and I want to be able to measure out how much cream cheese, how much bacon bits, and all that I put into my jalapeno poppers. So the first thing, of course, is to chop these up. So I'm going to go ahead and anytime I'm going to be making poppers, of course, I buy the biggest ones that I can find. So I just cut off the tops, cut them in half. And then I find the easiest way to get the inside out is to use a spoon. So I just kind of scoop the edges out. And if you want them a little bit spicy, then you can go ahead and just leave some of the seeds in there. But for me, for the poppers, I just find it better just to scoop out everything out of the inside.
Living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with me. Be free.
I am weighing out 1 ounce of cream cheese at a time in my bowl here, and I just wanted to see how many poppers I could do out of that 1 ounce serving, because that is a serving size. And I found that I can do 2 poppers, since they're all relatively the same size. I can do 2 poppers with 1 ounce of cream cheese. So now I know I can do 2 poppers at one sitting, and it's going to be only 1 serving of cream cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of it measured out and get all of these poppers filled with the cream cheese. And then next up is the bacon bits. So I just measured out actually 2 servings of the bacon bits, and that was enough to cover all of them, plus I had a little bit left over. And then same with the cheese. I went ahead and measured out I measured out 2 servings of cheese, and I went ahead and just sprinkled that all on top of there. So that measurement will be a little bit off because the cheese kind of just goes all over the place. I throw these in my air fryer at 400 degrees for about 8 minutes, and they come out perfect. They're crispy, they're cheesy, they're melty, so good. Now I'm making meatloaf for dinner, so while I was in the kitchen, I went ahead and just made the meatloaf, and then I made the whole chicken. My husband is allergic to chicken, so that's why I have to make 2 separate meals. So just if you guys are new here, that's why I have 2 separate meals. But I thought I would go ahead and have dinner ready as well since I'm in the kitchen. And that is everything, you guys. Here is everything I prepped today. I feel like I have a really great start to the week. I have a breakfast, I have a lunch, I have a snack, and then some of my dinner prep is done, which is always a fantastic thing to have in your refrigerator. I will have all the recipes linked down below so you can check those out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!